On today's episode of the Command Center podcast, it's Jaden Sanity.
Oh, mania.
Mania?
Mania.
All right, we review the Browns game. I mean, we keep breaking history. A lot of fun stuff to review there.
Is.
We're previewing I'm so excited for this game, the Baltimore game.
Me too.
And then we got Hell Yeah.
Hell no.
It all starts right now. Welcome to the Command Center podcast. I'm Logan Paulsen here with Fred Smoot and Santana Moss.
Yep.
And guys, are we like a really good football team? Are the Commanders like a
Is that hard to believe?
I mean, no.
Well,
I don't know.
Because you're acting like the fan base right now where you're unsure if we're good or not. Like, stop it.
I didn't think
he asked the question, though. I mean, how do you feel about it?
I feel great. I be smiling in my sleep. Everything. Like, listen. I
love that little smile he had at the end
First of all, it's no easy wins in the NFL. Let's start there.
100%.
All right. Starting off 4-1, and it ain't just we're 4-1, it's how it's being done.
Yeah.
All right. We're doing it with a young quarterback that seems to be fearless. We're doing it with a young quarterback that seems to be poised in a way that nothing bothers him. Mm-hmm. And I think the team is taking that identity. Like, belief is everything.
Yeah.
And I think these guys believe any field they step on, we are capable of beating whoever steps in front of us, whatever day.
Well, belief, just speaking of belief alone, I think, they're taking on the identity of the coaching staff. Mm-hmm. The head coach, and Dan Quinn. For so many years of playing against him and watching him coach on teams that this team actually played against, it was something unique about the way those guys flew around the ball on the defensive side of the ball.
They played happy.
I saw it in Dallas. Mm-hmm. Talked about this last week. I saw it in Atlanta, and I damn sure saw it in Seattle.
Yep.
And when you look at some of the things that we're doing now, I just talk about the near years, the last 3 years in Dallas. We knew playing this team, we had no fear of the Cowboys. It always was a big rival because of whatever the past, history was about our game. But until he came there, that defense was totally different.
Yeah.
And it was impossible almost to go in that building or play them here and beat them. And I feel like now we have that same thing going for us as a team, not just on defense, as a team.
Yeah.
We just talked about it just briefly, how the receivers are running downfield trying to block for the other guys.
Yeah.
That's a mindset that he speaks about this all the time. The brotherhood, being together, having your brother's back, all that stuff is coming to forefront, and I think it's because of what he's been preaching and teaching since day one.
Yeah, I think I asked the question because there were a lot of questions coming into the season.
Yeah.
We got a rookie quarterback, new head coach. We got some, offensive line questions, defensive line questions, talent questions.
I was on the side of greatness at the time and said we was going to be good.
Can we check that out?
Yeah,
Jason?
I said the offensive line is better than people think.
So first off, I think Tan and I were the ones who said that specific thing. I said because of scheme we'll be better. And now you're just trying to take
a pair of lips tell lies.
You know him. You know that well.
I literally told you, I said the offensive line going to be better than people.
Because I told you that.
We told each other. How about we just do that?
But anyway, and then all of a sudden it's like the offensive line, I thought they'd be playing better.
Yeah.
But they're objectively playing good.
They're playing dominant. Let's be honest.
And I thought Jaden Daniels was going to be good. I didn't think he was going to be
great,
this efficient. Yeah. I mean, we're going to talk about the Browns game here in a second, but the ability to find explosive plays, I knew the defense was going to improve because the coaching, but to see Benjamin St. Juste and Quan Martin and these guys in the back end playing better, Mike Sanders still come along, Frankie Luvo, it's just there's a lot, and it happened fast.
Yeah.
And I think the reason Tana brought up such a great point, it's the culture, the mindset, it all happens so quickly. How many times have we had a new coach come in and it's like this kind of feels the same as before?
Yeah, it's going to take us 4 years to incorporate everything that we need to do. No, they came in here business on their mind.
Yeah.
And then I think it had a lot to do with the fact that you uprooted the whole roster. Yeah. So it's no lingering
that goes back to Tana's point too, though. Yeah. You said these are the guys. This is the type of guy we want. These are the type of players we want. Type of mindset we want. If you're not this guy,
hey,
that's fine.
Yeah,
they not hunting talent.
Yeah,
they hunting types
and character.
Yeah.
And definitely when you go to the stadium, the product on the field is different, but the crowd, the environment. It all feels different.
Listen, I was doing them on my own field hit, and I just glanced up at the sun the other day.
It was a beautiful day.
And I said, you know what? This sun shines on Northwest Stadium. Like, listen to me. The sun, huh? Listen, the energy, it felt right. I'm talking trash to Brown fans, and it was the best trash talking session of all. Because when you talk trash to somebody, they know, like the Brown fan was looking at me, they like, yeah, you right. Yeah. And I was like, this is the best. Like, they're not even trying anymore. Like, teams are saying, you know what? Washington? We got to bring our hard hats.
Yeah.
That's what they're saying. So forget how we feel in here. You can always tell by what other teams and other fan bases feel.
And that's the thing about it. I think when you look at it as a whole, it's one thing we can sit here and say, you know, and be biased and say, yeah, they're good, you know what I mean, because of what they've shown. But it's the style of play that allows us to, you know, to have some, I guess you can say, some
confidence in what they're doing.
What we're saying. Like, we're just not just hanging on and being bandwagoners because we're part of this.
The family, yeah.
No, we're really seeing a style of play being, you know, that's allowing this team to be efficient and to have the 4-1 record that they have right now.
We're electrified. Nobody wants to say it.
Yeah.
We have an offense that's electric. Every time they listen, I have been a part of this team. I have watched this team. At no time in my career, and ain't no time over the last 20 years have I ever thought that every time my offense touched the field, like, we go score. Like, I feel that.
You feel it. You believe it.
I feel that every time. Like, Tress Way might as well retire. All right? All I'm saying is, I have never been as confident as I've been over this last couple of weeks watching. I was even confident out to Tampa. And that's why I was not low like everybody else. I was like, dude, man, it was our first time.
Yeah, we said it. We all said it. We saw a lot of good out there.
I saw a lot of good out there, man.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, you know, everyone says, oh, 2012, it feels similar. I'll tell you this right now. This offense is way more efficient, down to down.
Way more.
We were really good in 2012 about finding explosive plays.
But things had to hit right.
We had to hit right.
Yeah.
And
y'all molded the offense to one person at that time. Like, that offense was catered to me, to RG3's strength.
But I would say this, when RG went down and Kirk went in there and we went back to more the simplistic way of being a traditional offense with a drop-back game, it shows you then, too, what this offense could be. Now it was more of that John Elway style. Basically, you got a guy, Kirk's mobile enough, but if you just do the things that you're supposed to do and hit and throw it into these holes that's supposed to be there, like, it shows you that this offense could be what it want to be. You know, it's just these guys are great at coaching and putting it in place of who's the quarterback. You know. Yeah,
but I think my point there is that obviously that's a great offense. We love that offense, Kyle's offense, but the efficiency of this offense, the dynamism, that's a word. Yeah, the dynamism of this offense.
Is that a word?
Yeah, it is a word. Look it up.
All right.
I don't know.
He's pretty smart.
I think so. Dynamism.
I believe
but
I don't. I don't believe you. Listen,
leave a comment if it's a real word. Look it up.
It's not.
For Fred.
Dynamism. Smooterism.
But it's more dynamic. It's more efficient. And to me, it all goes back to the play caller, or not the play caller, the guy running the quarterback position.
Yeah.
His ability to process stuff, the quick release, we've talked about all that stuff is really special. But if you want to, you guys can come to home games, and I think you should come to home games.
I've been saying yes.
And we have tickets for the Panthers game, and we have like a special, special event maybe is the word we're going to use, special ticket promo.
It's a discount if you do these things.
Yes,
right?
So there's a link in the description, and use that link, and as the promo code, use one of our names. So use Tana.
Go ahead, holla at your boy. Dial it now.
Or I think you got to write Santana, the whole thing. That's a lot of letters to write.
S-A-N-T.
Logan is a great name. You should write that in.
Yeah.
And then Fred.
Fan base. Use Fred. It's the shortest out the three. Listen, I am the fan favorite. Use Fred. It's an easy way to get a couple percentage. I think you get like a lot of money off these tickets, right?
I don't know. That's a question for Jason.
Since he said he is, let's prove him wrong.
Yeah. And I don't expect anyone to vote for me. So please vote for Fred or Santana. They're going to do a great job. It's the same discount for everybody. You vote who you want to vote for. But yeah, the environment's electric. Yeah. It's a special opportunity. FedEx Field has been remodeled, revamped.
No, you're wrong. Northwest Field.
No, sorry.
AKA the Fed House. The Fed House.
But yeah, let's make sure you guys get out there and check it out. And if not for the fact that you can see Fred in his element, I have never seen a man more excited and just knows. It feels like you know every person at Southwest. Northwest. Southwest? Northwest?
Northwest.
Northwest.
The Fed House, I do. I personally do.
It's like just some random dude. Hey, Fred, what's up? And it's like the dude in seat 500 or whatever.
Yeah, because you know what? I've always been that dude, feet on the ground, speak to everybody, talk to everybody. And once it becomes repetitive, you do know everybody.
Yeah.
It's incredible. Yes, Jason.
Dynamism.
Dynamism.
So is he right or not?
The quality of being characterized by vigorous activity and progress.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. Look at that.
They UCLA. They should be proud of education because they ain't proud of sports right now. Great goal right there, UCLA.
Yeah, good job, UCLA.
That's what I'm talking. Mississippi State, we lacking.
I'm on a group chat with all my college buddies, and every week it's just like,
y'all just depressed, right?
Yeah, we're terrible.
I can say this about UCLA. Uniforms.
On point.
Y'all some of the best college uniforms. Always on point. Love to see y'all. Y'all brighten up a stadium, but I watch y'all against LSU. It was a massacre.
Aren't you guys terrible this year too?
Yes, we are. Don't
misery love company.
I've been saying, don't try to make it a misery because they good.
Tanner doesn't have to say anything.
But I'm over here quiet. I mean,
because he didn't have to say nothing.
We was quiet when we getting our heads smashed, and I'm quiet when we smashing heads. So hey, leave me out of it.
That guy, that quarterback, man,
special,
man, special. We have a special quarterback, and he played special against the Cleveland Browns. Yeah, so let's do a little bit of review of the Cleveland game, and let's start on the offensive side of the football.
But we also got the first question we got to ask. Is it Jaden sanity?
Oh, yeah.
Is it Jaden mania? Which one sounds better, fans? Please help us out with this.
Yeah, Fred is...
I said Jaden sanity.
Sounds weird.
It's off about it.
Yeah.
And I think that's just totally subjective.
How you pronounce it.
Yeah, it's just totally subjective. So Jaden sanity, Jaden mania, leave a comment. We'll start calling it that on this show when we do our previews with Jaden.
And we will have shirts, Jason. Put that
on. Jason shirts
with a hater on the back.
So yeah, let's start with the offense. Obviously, they came out a little bit of a sluggish start. What did you see from the offense? What did you see from Jaden? High level thoughts.
Well, high level thought for me is I was kind of pleased to see us have those kind of.
I wanted to see
those little rolls, those little, I guess you can call it. You know how you wake up in the middle of the night and you're trying to go to the bathroom in the dark and you stump your foot on the side of the bed. I wanted to see that. I wanted to see how we respond when things isn't going as smooth as we've been seeing.
That's such a funny visual to me because I can't imagine you stubbing your toe.
It happens all the time. and I know my way around the room, but it seemed like, boy, every time you either gonna stump your doggone shin or that toe.
It's that big toe. I done laid in the hallway in the floor begging for my kid. Help me, baby. I'm down.
Nah, I don't think I ever laid down, but I know whoever was around, whoever room next door, they heard me mother something. Boy,
daddy down.
he cussing somebody out 3 in the morning. The damn dog. You mother.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, yeah, sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's good, man. But, no, I just feel that I was pleased. I'm walking around that particular weekend, and, we had the Legend of the Game thing. So I had a job.
Cool. Congratulations,
It was great. It was great. I really appreciate it. Thanks to the organization for, taking care of your boy that weekend. Yeah. But, no, I'm walking around to different suites, talking to, fans and everything. And I'm watching the game, but not really paying attention to it. But I'm just hearing so I'm kind of feeding off the crowd to know what's going on. I'm like, that didn't sound well. And I peek down, I'm like, well, damn, it was 3 and out that quick? Yeah. Then we get the ball back and it's interception. I'm like, well, damn. Yeah. But I appreciated it a little bit because when I finally got to, I guess you can call it the alumni suite and got a chance to sit down, that's when the game kind of got interesting. That's when you started seeing them pick up. And that's why I'm saying, I'm like, when you can see a young guy be able to, respond as a quarterback, as the leader of the offense, after having some bad plays, man, you have nothing but, I think we can all sit here and really feel the way we feel because we understand that that's a tough position. And it's easy to get in your head about yourself and how you're performing if things don't go well, out the gate.
Listen, I've been watching us on this freeway doing 100 miles per hour. I want to see us on the dirt road. All right, and that first half was on that dirt road.
Yeah.
Had some ups, some downs. Things didn't go the way we want. I want to see that. That tells me what you really are as a football player. Anybody can fly high. That's easy to do. But when you go through them peaks and valleys, I want to see him troubleshoot. I want to see our quarterback troubleshoot. I want to see our offensive coordinator troubleshoot. And I knew this was going to be a game because I knew that Browns defense. I ain't talking about the Browns offense. I knew that Browns defense was going to be able to play. They was going to be able to keep them in the game. But to see that goes full round for me. That lets me know no matter what the situation is, this kid going to find a way.
Yeah.
This kid going to find a way. And I think you grow by troubleshooting than you do from success.
Yeah.
So I felt like our offense grew. All right, for them to go out there, Myles Garrett is one of the most talented monsters you'll ever see in this league. For him to lead that game with as many stats as us three, that tells you what that offensive line had a plan to do, and they executed that plan. All right, they said this defense can't be ran on. We ran on that defense.
Yeah.
They say this defense got 2 legit cornerbacks. We threw on that defense.
Yeah.
All right, I saw Jaden make plays when the play broke down. That big throw to Terry showed me a couple of things. Showed me growth from week 1 to week 5 because he would have took off running week 1. Week 5, he breaking the pocket to throw the ball.
Yeah.
2, it taught me the receivers are learning now with this running quarterback. I have the chance to run not 1 route,
Get open.
2 routes, or 3 routes.
Yeah.
All right? So they're learning him.
Yeah.
All right? So it showed me a lot. I took a lot from this Brown game, even though Deshaun Watson retired 3 years and didn't tell nobody.
Watching the first couple of drives back last night, I thought the Browns had a really good plan for Jaden. They were basically like,
Especially the first series.
Yeah, we're going to do a gap exchange. We're going to bring up. So gap exchange basically is like if the back is offset to the quarterback's right, the defensive end is going to crash down to the A gap, and the backside linebacker is going to scrape over top. So we've exchanged our gaps, and the reason you do that, so if I pull it, there's a guy right there. Yeah. And you give him a false read, and you're basically taking away the zone read, which has been a big part of our run game. So obviously early on that was something challenging. And it's something that I think the zone read was not great for the team throughout the game. And you saw kind of what this team looks like when they're not in a positive down and distance, right? And again, I think the other thing that I appreciate about what Cleveland did is they were like, you guys have done a lot of quick game, a lot of screens. We're going to play basically – it's two shells, but those safeties are at 8 yards. We're going to play a really flat contour. We're going to play press man. And we're going to be like, you got to throw the ball down the field versus a blitz.
Yeah.
And I think I appreciate the fact that, to your point, like that second drive where Jaden escapes the pocket, puts the ball down the field, that's what he's doing. He's escaping the pressure. But early on, I thought, this is going to be tough for this team.
It's going to be tough, yeah.
And so for them to kind of shift gears, kind of change their perspective, and I do feel like Jaden was unsettled for the majority of the first quarter. I think when you see that backed up sequence where he misses Zach Ertz, he throws the ball out of bounds to Terry, he wasn't quite there yet.
Yeah.
But I do think when they got into that, that 2-minute situation, they got in that after the Austin Eckler long run, they got in that kind of short field. He started to wake up a little bit. Even the second drive after the interception where B-Rob scored the touchdown on the wham block, he made some really, really nice throws in that game. And to both of you guys' point, it was a little bit bumpy. Yeah. Maybe not a dirt road, but maybe like a poorly paved road. You know what I'm saying? And the reason I say that is because if that Cleveland offense had any juice, those 3 and outs become way more impactful. And we cannot stick with our game flow. We can't run the ball we want to run. We can't run play action. We can't run our keepers. All that stuff becomes less effective because the game flow is flipped. So I think it's a little bit bumpy, but it's definitely not a dirt road. And I think is when we talk about Baltimore here in a minute, it'll be that dirt road. But I do think he found different ways to win. We found explosive plays. I think the efficiency for him, passing wise, was way down. But you saw explosive plays, explosive passes, plays, 2 huge touchdowns, 2 explosive scrambles. And what's the stat about explosive plays in an offense? They lead to points. And so it wasn't 80% passing efficiency. It was explosive shots.
But to your point right there, even though it wasn't by far not perfect, we still almost put up 40 points. So
100%.
In a situation where things are not clicking, this is the norm.
But what I'm saying, though, it's different than what we've seen, which is something that we talked about last week. It's that passing percentage, it has to come down.
It's too heroic.
It's historically high. It'll come down. But it's nice to see that I can find shots down the field. I can run versus zero. I can run versus man looks. I can be decisive in 2-minute situations and deliver touchdowns. That's the thing that I think.
But to your point too, I think you only allowed to kind of have that reset. I think you can say for what Jaden had to go through from those 2 first series. It's because you're playing complementary football.
Yeah,
defense went out there and handled their business
teams, man.
And gave you a chance to go out there and really say, okay, let me rewrite whatever I did those first 2 series. Let me right my wrongs right now because the defense gave me chance to go out here and do so. So that's a great thing too, because we haven't seen that in the past. Yeah. We see one side do their job and the other side don't come out and do nothing. You lay an egg, and then before you know it, the game is out of hand because now the defense played their behind off for a whole half. Offense hasn't caught up yet, or vice versa. Offense doing their thing, defense can't stop anyone. Before you know it, that team stuck around, and then now you let them win the game. So to play the way we've been seeing these guys play, we can sit here and praise the offense for being what they have shown us the last 5 weeks. Yep. But the only way they can do what they do is the defense out there doing what they've been doing for the last 5 weeks too, and that's playing complementary.
I want to give Coach Izzo some love.
His
special teams too.
His special teams is flying around, and then it ain't just one person, man. Every time I look up, somebody peeling somebody cap on the kickoff team, on the punt team. And it's a different person. Every time, man. Get some love to that special teams. I know people don't like to talk and give them love. I got to give them some love.
But we talking about the culture, and that's part of the culture. Yeah. I mean, you look from every aspect of what we doing out there on that field, the team has the same mentality. Every player is playing with the same kind of aggression, the same tenacity. It don't stop from a receiver to the running back to the quarterback. Like that pass that he threw to Dayami, watch the sideline. Watch how clean Cliff come on that field and talking that like everybody have the personality of the guys that's out there coaching them. And that's what you want, man. That's what you want to see.
Swag bag.
Absolutely. And you mentioned the special teams, like you get Nick Ballore, you get Colson Yankov, Bryson Tremaine, Jeremy Reed. Like they're taking turns.
They're
taking turns.
They're playing so hard. Like when you're on the sideline, when I'm on the sideline watching the game, it's physical, man. Yeah, it's a physical mindset play. You can see the defense playing with the same approach. You mentioned the receivers. On B-Rob's touchdown, the way Luke McCaffrey blocks that corner, it's got to be 4 seconds. Yeah. Like, so B-Rob breaks the tackle, right? He's kind of standing there. His guy's on his leg. Usually that corner comes up and
closes in.
And it's a 4-yard gain or whatever. But what makes it special is the effort. Yeah. Is the effort of Luke to just kind of hang in there, fight. And then there's Terry running down the field on Austin Eckler's run, blocking Myles Garrett. Yeah. That was crazy, watching him run down the field. Yeah. Like a huge deer. Like,
listen, he's a monster.
Speaking of a guy who's coming to save the day, that run that I'm not sure if it was the screen or the run. It was the big run, Eckler big run. Yeah. As the kids doesn't follow him, he doesn't get that fumble. You know what I mean?
That's what they do now.
That's what they doing.
That's
so it's just like it's just,
that was 40 yards, 50 yards down the field. Yeah. There's Zacchaeus.
And he came from the other side of the field. So
and to talk about something special, like I remember watching, you probably remember this, Santa, like watching film with Kyle in 2012. He was like, the reason that this team is special is because everyone is playing to the whistle. Yeah. And so he'd show a clip of Pierre like busting hump. He's the backside receiver. He's blocking the post safety. DY just cutting the full, like everyone was playing for each other at a high level. And the thing that gets me so juiced, and Tana's talked about this already a ton, is obviously the offenses are different, the defenses are different from 2012 to 2024, but the energy that I'm getting from this team feels very, very similar.
Very similar,
and the confidence is very, very similar. And so you talked about it wasn't clean, but the ability to be like, I'm confident enough to handle this adversity and get here and make plays, I think is also really cool. And
no, I've said this ad nauseum at times throughout my career when I was asked, what was it about being a receiver, and London always talked about it. Tanner, why you wasn't a diva? Because I learned how to play football on both sides. I told you I played defense the whole time growing up, and I play offense. But when I got to the offensive side, even though I'm a receiver and I only can function or be the guy who I want to be at receiver is getting the ball, you still have to play football. It's still a job. It's still a task. Look, Wayne Corbett told me something when I was a Jet about blocking, and I have been blocking all my life. But he say, bro, it feels so good when you're the key block to the running back's touchdown. It almost feel like you caught a touchdown pass. I remember playing Seattle 5 years later, and I had been blocking my behind off since my early years of playing ball. But I remember having no effect on the game, receiver-wise. I wasn't catching no passes. I wasn't getting no passes thrown. It was jury out there. Royce Halou ran the ball. We needed a score to go up. Yeah. And I went in there, and I ain't have to crack nobody. I just went in there and put my body in a way and make sure that I gave him the path to run off of my behind. And he scored that touchdown, and the first thing Cal said was, how does that feel? And I say, like we just had won a Super Bowl because it was my block. So that's what I'm getting from these guys. I'm seeing these guys all
be a piece of the puzzle. Be a piece of the puzzle, man.
They flying around trying to make a difference in every play. We're talking about winning your down. They're winning their down. Oh, you know what? You my guy. If I ain't getting the ball, I'm gonna make sure that you're not in the play. You're not gonna be on the tackle. So that's what I'm loving about it, because I think that alone right there is allowing you to have the success that this team is having.
Am I my brother's keeper?
Yeah, and you just reminded me of something. Do you remember your touchdown in 2012 against the Giants where you caught that tunnel screen and scored?
Oh, yeah, and used my block.
Yeah,
my last guy.
We ran that play probably 5 times in that game. And so my job on the backside tight end, I got to run and block the far safety. Got to run and block him every single time. So we ran it probably 5 times. So the whole game, you're busting hump over there, and it's tackle for a 5-yard gain, 6-yard gain. And so the one time you do it, it's like it matters the most. And I think that's the thing is, like, obviously we're pointing at these moments where there were tremendous plays happening. But if you watch even the most boring, mundane plays in this offense now with the Commanders, you see guys giving that extra effort, going that extra mile, and that's where you make the consistency of the offense more acute, which is really special. So obviously there was a lot going on here. And let's talk about the complimentary football thing, because I think that to me is maybe the biggest point of this game. Yeah. It started off slow. Defense came out with the hair on fire. Cleveland's offense is, I don't know how to say this, maybe
to say the least,
maybe the worst offense I've seen in the NFL.
No, it is the worst. Ain't no maybe. Yeah. Maybe I'll be king tomorrow. I'm telling you, it's the worst. Deshaun Watson, I was a fan when he was young. I have never seen a player play with so much unhappiness. Yeah. Like, it's not physical with him. It's mental.
I mean, the magic gone. I mean, let's just be honest. Look, I'm a fan too. I'm going to sit here and be the first to tell you, the magic gone. I mean, whatever it was.
I played with him in Houston. He was the best player I ever played with in Houston. You'd get in the huddle. You'd be like, this guy is – he's
going to make something happen.
He's going to make something happen. We believed in him. He was a great leader. Obviously, there's the off-the-field stuff. Yeah. But there's a reason he was the 3rd best quarterback in the NFL in 2020. Yeah. He was amazing. Yeah. And I just don't see
any of that player in there no more.
Yeah.
His soul is missing.
It's not, I don't know what it is. I just feel like, us as players, we superstitious is all I know. And you know how we play games, we say, we have that little game, bourrée, and something happened in the game, and you're like, oh, the boo guards look out for me. The football guards shining on them differently now. I mean, I don't know what made it happen this way. Maybe it's something of that stuff or that he went through legally, off the field. But the football guard just ain't in his favor no more. And I think you see it so much to the point to where even the simplest throws, he's not making.
He can't make them.
I mean, he got outside the pocket and the guy was right there. And he threw it 5 yards behind him. And I'm like, what?
Listen, Tanner, I had never seen so many balls overthrown in my life.
Yeah, bro.
Overthrown, underthrown.
Oh, Jess. Every time I look up, the ball bouncing off the ground. I was like, this was shit.
It's to the point now, I feel like the Brown staff is just like, we got to play him. Because
you can't cut him. You owe him 120.
We owe him a king's ransom, so we got to play him.
Apparently, ownership was like, you have to play him. Yeah, that's the rumor right now, and I'm not reporting anything here. That's the rumor around the street.
You can look at tell because they don't.
Yeah, because they're not happy. I'm watching the coach's body language. I'm like, man, they want this dude out of there right now. Like, it's sad.
On the sideline, I'm talking some of the worst body language you've ever seen from him, from the O-line,
from everybody,
from the receivers, and so that being said. Defense came out, did its thing. Yeah. I thought back end, secondary played well. St. Juste, I mean, he's getting better each week, just confident.
Confidence
is flying to the ball. Flying to the ball, man. Yeah, he is. A lot of fun to watch. Yeah.
Monogamy playing some good ball, man.
That boy, he might be, arguably might be our best corner.
And then Sanderson, I thought this was his best game as a Commander. Yeah. A couple tackles, couple PBUs, great job there. I mean, the middle of this defense, so Frankie Luvu, Bobby Wagner, man.
The Tasmanian Devil. We need a shirt.
Dude, him just spin around.
That dude there, man, is
That's what we got to start
electrified.
doing in the stands. I used to love it when y'all said my name. Smoot, all is one. So now we got to switch it to Lou.
But it might sound too much like Luke, because Luke got his own thing now. Now they say Luke.
What is Luke?
They say Luke. Hey, I started I say, Luke been here how many? 5 weeks, and he got a whole chant.
Yeah.
I say Luke got
crazy.
a chant. Man, that is amazing,
That was
man.
cool.
Yeah.
That was really cool. But Frankie Louvu, the physicality on the blitzes, I thought the run fits were much better. Again, Cleveland didn't do so. What does this team had a hard time with? They've had a hard time with counter, power, trap, any type of pullers.
Yeah.
They didn't pull anybody until like midway through the third quarter, and it was a 25-yard gain. So I don't know what they're doing on that side of the football, but you got to take the test that's given.
Yeah.
And they did a great job. Run fits were much better.
It was.
Tight run fits, physical. John Duran
I would
getting
say
after
the
it.
defensive line was very disruptive.
Yeah.
Like sometimes stats ain't what you need.
Yeah.
I need you to get people off of their spot. I need you to get running back clothes dirty, and I need you to punch tight ends in the face.
Yeah.
And that's what they did. I think they did that for 4 quarters. This is probably the best group session I've seen from the defensive line. Like all of them was getting out there.
And I thought you'd appreciate this, Fred. Like they were running a lot of Tampa 2 in these third and long situations. And I thought the corners did a great job of getting depth.
Rerouting.
Getting depth in their Tampa 2 so that you can't throw the corner.
And I'll come back down and tackle.
Yeah, and we're going to rally and tackle. They did a great job of that. The blitz packages by Joe Witt Jr. were awesome. Like the cross dogs internally with Frankie and Bobby were great. So lots of really positive things. And it allowed the offense to kind of find its gear. To just kind of.
But that's what good teams do.
Yeah.
I'm going to take it this quarter. You take it the next. All right? Like, that's what teams do. They got each other back. Everything. We've been in this Cinderella world because the stuff we've been doing been so record-breaking.
Yeah.
So we know, honestly, it can't stay dead high. But our new norm is somewhere in between there.
Yeah.
And that's what we need to understand. Like, with a quarterback like this, the new norm is anytime it's 4 quarters of football being played, we got a chance today.
Nah, Coach said it. He has a slogan, and I don't know if I'm correct, but like he said, anybody, anytime, anywhere, however he put
Any place.
any place, like that's how you watch that's how they playing. You know what I mean? Like, and then just talking about the new norm is, we come out the second half and we fumble the ball. Terry gets smacked.
Fumble the ball.
And the defense remember back out there and say, "Nah, we're gonna
We
get
got
it
you
back."
back.
You know what I'm saying?
We got you back.
That's the new norm. These guys have each other's back. That's the brotherhood that we seeing these guys play with.
I mean, even after the interception, they get a 3 and out.
Yeah.
They punt. It's a short field. Offense drives down, scores a touchdown.
Yeah.
And you don't get that if they don't get a 3 and out.
Yeah.
Like let's say they get 2 first downs. They're on the 30-yard line. They punt. That means you're getting that ball back on your 20.
Yeah.
And it's hard to score that way. Instead, you get the ball on the 50.
Yeah.
Go score a touchdown.
Yeah.
And so that's complimentary football. That's something that I'm really excited about.
Yeah.
And just to give it some context, so over the last 2 games, Washington has more than doubled the opponent's total yards. More than doubled.
Ridiculous.
732 yards
700
to 363. That's absolutely insane. And we just talked about how bad Cleveland is, but still, that's an NFL football team.
Yeah, it is.
So that's something else that these last 2 games have been crazy from a complimentary football standpoint. Now, the thing that I want to we're going to kind of bleed in here to Baltimore.
All right. We ain't scared of them.
This is going to be maybe the biggest challenge of the entire year when you look at the schedule. This is the best team they play this year, right?
far,
It's Baltimore. No, even if you look at the rest of their schedule.
Well, Tampa was a pretty tough outing too.
But I'm saying after this, we've got like New Orleans, we've got the Panthers, we've got the Giants, we've got Philly, we've got the Bears.
Yeah.
This is a
Right
Super
now.
Bowl team, Baltimore, right? And it's going to be much harder to keep the game flow that we've had the last couple of weeks.
I don't think so.
Okay, let's talk about it.
This is why I say
Talk
this.
to him, Fred.
We're talking to a team about a team now. The one thing we can say about Baltimore is their identity for a long time has been, we're going to hit you in the mouth on offense, and in defense, we're going to shut you down. Yeah. They have not been that shut down defense. All right, passing, they ranked 31st. Now, they ranked high in stopping the run because people they don't need to run against them. Yeah. They're throwing the ball against them. So this is not your daddy's Ravens defense right here. They're having problems. They're playing bad in the back end right now. They have no pass rush. Yeah. And if you have no pass rush against a guy like Jaden Daniels, he eventually, might not be the first quarter, but eventually he's going to score points. At the end of the day, this is a new world order situation. Yeah. This ain't your grandmama's Washington Commanders. Yeah. All right, we coming in here. We coming to Baltimore. Matter of fact, tell the people in Baltimore, Omar coming to town. We coming.
Omar?
Omar, you don't know Omar from The Wire.
Oh, I got you.
Omar coming to town.
Ted, how do you feel about that? I feel sometimes when Fred does that, I feel like he's cutting like a wrestling promo.
It did sound like that. I was almost getting geeked though. Like,
this is not your mama's Washington
you
Commanders.
don't know how I feel when somebody in Baltimore run down the street and say, "Hey, Omar coming." You don't know what that do to me.
Nah, I feel Fred. I think for so many years, Baltimore has bully folks. You know what I mean? They've been the bullies of the NFL. They found a way to punch in the mouth on the defensive side of the ball. They got out the use. They were so aggressive. They played with the same kind of, our hair on fire type of attitude that our defense is playing with right now. And then offensively, they have that secret weapon that we have right now that you can't really dictate nothing with him because you have a Lamar Jackson that can pull it and do what he can do. And when he's throwing the ball, if it ain't clear to him, he always found a way to be, magical. Yeah. Found a way to do something with his feet. I think we have that going for us. I think what makes this an interesting game for us, one, yes, Baltimore might be the best team that we're probably going to be facing, in this early 2024 season. I think Tampa can give them a run for their money too with that.
Me too.
But
good,
so far from the last few weeks, Baltimore stands out, but I feel like we have the right kind of team
to stop them
for what they do best.
Yes.
They're going to run the ball with King Henry.
Right.
We got two guys on our second level of defense that don't care. Bring them over here. We chop down trees. We'll show you how we do that.
Yeah.
Then they have a guy that's electrifying that quarterback. Guess what? Don't come out here with that book. We gonna hit you. We gonna hit you in your mouth from our cornerbacks, from our safeties, and our guys up front. And then that's, to me, where they're handicapped at, which is, I'm not saying handicap, the receiver position. That's where it doesn't really, benefit them because, don't get me wrong, we don't have, I can't say the best secondary in the world, but what I've seen from my secondary, they took what happened to them earlier this year and say, guess what? We're going to build off of that. And we're going to learn how to play together because if we play more together, now we can be as one and we can stop guys, individual guys, like guys like the Jamar Chases and guys like the T. Higgins of the world. They don't have one of them. They have capable guys. They have a little slippery guy.
Is dangerous at tight end.
And that's what, to me, I think more than anything, likely would be I want to see how we match up with him. Who do we bring a safety down? Do we bring a corner, put a corner in and stick him? Because I think he's going to be the guy that if they get him going, that's what's going to kind of shift us and make us have to do something different.
Let's talk about this team and take the bird off the helmet.
Yeah.
We got a great quarterback. They got a great quarterback. They got a great running back. That's where it stops.
Yeah.
All right. They got two great tight ends. They're not utilizing one of them.
Two great ones.
All right. The offensive line is not what they used to be.
Yeah.
They're not depending on the pass game like they usually do because King Henry is running that ball. They have a defense that's up and down, and Justin Tucker, the most perfect kicker in the world, is having a down year.
My fantasy.
So I'll say, to give some, I think that's a great analysis by both of you guys. To give you some context on this.
Talk to me.
This rushing offense is the #1 rushing offense in the NFL.
Don't shock me.
Right? Doesn't shock you. They run the quarterback. They've got Justin Hill, really explosive, fast scat back. They've got
a 300-pound fullback also.
Patrick Ricard. They've got Derrick Henry. They've got a great blocking tight end in Charlie Kolar. They can get after you in the run game kind of however they want. You watch the Bills game, they were like, put your mouthpiece in, we're going to put the fullback in the game, and you guys won't be able to stop us. You watch the Dallas game, we're going to run a lot of zone read, we're going to get to the perimeter, and then the change-ups, Derrick Henry. They've got a lot of ways to run the football, and I look at some of the things that this team has struggled with, the Commanders, it's stopping the run. And you're going to get multiple different schemes. You're going to get GT, you're going to get counter, you're going to get power, you're going to get outside zone, you're going to get inside zone, you're going to get zone read, you're going to get RPOs. It's all on the table. And I think it just, what it does is they're so predicated with the quarterback run scheme, it makes you really flat. Gets you really horizontal.
It's an equalizer.
Makes you really horizontal. Now, I will say to Tana's point, I think this is a great point by him. They don't have a lot of vertical speed on the outside. So you can feel comfortable playing flat with them.
Man to man.
However, when you watch the Bills game, for example, excuse me, they started using Zay Flowers to kind of create that vertical stretch, and it started to open up Isaiah Likely and Bateman, these other receivers underneath. They are problematic. Now, I will say this also. When you watch Lamar against Cincinnati, they're not very efficient down to down. When they're not running the football, they're not very efficient. So you can kind of win them. But then, like Tana said, I think Lamar is probably the second best quarterback in the NFL right now.
That's easily. Nobody's going to dispute that.
Second best quarterback in the NFL. Like, he's straight balling, so you always have to negotiate that. So even though they're not the Baltimore Ravens of
they got a new way of winning.
But their offense is good. Their offense is, I'm going to say, the best offense they've played this year.
Would you
in terms
agree
of like it kind of being this team's kryptonite from a defensive standpoint?
Could you agree with me on this one? If we start out fast, they are not what I call a get back in the game team. Because now you take the running game out.
It's true.
If we get to Baltimore and we jump out fast like we tend to do with teams, we erase their game plan.
Because now they got to pass the ball.
Now they got to pass the ball. So what I'm saying is, if we start fast, then they can't be Baltimore.
Yeah, I don't think you even have to start fast. If we go punch for punch, they're going to try to change it up then too. Because if you're saying, okay, well, damn, they scored and we scored. We scored, they scored again. Now they're going to say, okay, let's slow it down, or let's do something different, because it seems like they're going toe for toe. Because all you need, you know how these games are won when you have two teams that's similar, or that's not even similar as far as how we play, but that can play. That's good enough to go out there and score with you. When you have a team that can do that, the other thing that decides these kind of outcomes is, one, turnovers and penalties. You see what I'm saying?
Which we've been clean on both of those.
One of the things that we've been good with is being efficient enough when it comes to taking care of the ball and not having so many miscues. So that's, to me, it's going to be where I think this game is won and lost at. You're going into somebody else's backyard, it's going to be loud. They probably going to have that black on. They're going to probably have that purple pants with the black tops.
We going to take over that stadium. I got faith. I got faith. We going to go up that beltway, and it's going to be burgundy and gold all over there. Listen, fans.
I'm ready to see it. I'm going to be
because
live
guess
in
what?
the fit.
The fan base probably ain't felt like we had a legit chance to go up there and show them what we got in years. We on fire. You look at Arizona took over their stadium. Tampa took over their stadium. So I wouldn't doubt the fans that we're going to take over Baltimore.
The other thing, so you mentioned game flow, and they were down by 10 to the Cincinnati Bengals last week, and they came back and won. Again, Lamar was kind of sleepwalking.
But that's a divisional game. I don't like to mess with division games.
So this is where I get concerned, is what if they come out and we're having a hard time stopping the run? And they defensively, now, I know they're not what they've been, but Kyle Van Noy leads the team in sacks. I think he's got like 6 sacks this year. He's able to create pressure. Odafe Owe, great pass rusher from Penn State. What's his name?
Does he got a sack yet? Because he's a great athlete.
But he's a lot of pressures, though.
A lot of pressure, but he just can't complete sacks.
And I don't even know how to say who's their guy they just paid? Mbuke, yeah. He's doing a great job in terms of running and stopping the run, being physical. Travis Jones, the guy from UConn a couple years ago, physical inside. They have pieces up front. What if we have a hard time stopping the run? Their defense, because they do bring a lot of these kind of weird zone pressures that are really hard to diagnose. Jaden's flummoxed. The game flow starts like it did versus Cleveland, but instead of getting 3 and outs on consecutive drives,
here comes Lamar.
It's 14-0. What does that do to us offensively? Because think about it. Every game this year, we've been in a very favorable game flow.
It speeds us up.
We've been able to run the football. We've been able to do exactly what we want to do. So that's my question: is what is this? Because you mentioned, we talked about, they run like a little bit of a bumpy road, right? Unpaved road against Cleveland. This could become a
dirt road,
gravel sandpit road here versus this team because of how talented they are.
Well, I ain't gonna say that. That's the first thing I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna put that out there in the air. I don't want to put that. I feel what you're saying. I feel you're asking the question.
My question is like,
what if?
What do they do? Like, how do they respond? You know.
Well, I think you have the key. I mean, I think the key is with Jaden. I think one of the things that have stood out to me thus far is he finds a way. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
He finds a way to get us going even when things are bumpy, even when things are gray. And that's what I love about him. Like, if it ain't there when he drops back, guess what, man? I know how to play this game. It's about moving the chains. I'm going to get us close enough to where we can take advantage of this. Like, one of the things I think we're going to have going for us, which they do well, which they have been known for doing well, is stopping the run. I think we got a 3-headed monster, man. The way they using our run game, it's not, for so many years, the run game was predicated on how you stuff that ball in that running back's belly and let him go out there and get his yards. It's not that no more. We can do it many different ways. We can put them in screen situations.
We can do it every way they can do it.
Every way they can do it. So I feel like that's what we have going for us this year when things are not going well, if things get to the point where they're not going well, we have enough playmakers on this team that we can say, hey, Jaden, you don't have to do nothing special. Take what you see. Yeah. Take what they give you,
and we'll be all right.
But give these guys the ball and let them go out there and do work. And I've been sitting back in awe watching Eckler, the way he runs the ball.
Yeah.
At the opportunities he's getting. It almost reminds me, and I don't want to just say this because it's me, but remember in 2012 when my position changed and I was more of a third down guy. Every time I got that ball thrown to me, I made it count. And that's what I'm seeing from Eckler. Every time he gets a chance, he might not be the starter, but when he gets the opportunity to touch that rock, he makes it count. So that's what we have going for. We have guys out there that's willing to lay it on the line when that number is called. And I think, if and when it gets great, we have an answer for it.
Yeah. I think we talked about the culture a lot against the Cleveland Browns and how that's been cool to see. And this is going to be, I think, a really
culture check.
Yeah, I think so. Because this is a Super Bowl caliber team.
You need that. Yeah. You need that.
You need this type of game.
I love it.
And I think I was thinking Cincinnati was kind of the same thing, and they met the challenge.
Yeah.
Going toe to toe with Joe Burrow, put up a lot of points, and there was a lot of adversity in that game. This is going to be a different type of adversity, I guess is what I'm saying. The other thing I want to ask you, Fred, because you're a defensive guy, is they face a very similar rushing attack to ours with the quarterback run stuff.
Yeah.
Do you think that gives them an edge with some of our quarterback design runs?
It gives both of us an edge because both of us seeing the same thing at practice. They see a runner, we see a runner. Our runner just happened to be, to me, a tad bit more of a touch passer than it. But
it is crazy because I don't want to because Lamar's a beast. But watching the last couple games, I think Jaden's a little bit more efficient throwing the football.
Let's just say this. Jaden entered the league a better passer than Lamar was when he entered the league. Let's just say that.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right. So at the end of the day, I think both defenses are going to say, all right, we practice against this, but we still don't know how they finna attack us. Mm-hmm. Like, are we going to get a gigantic dose of King Henry? So all right, if I'm Baltimore and I see what we doing, the first thing I'm going to say is, all right, Henry, we got to keep this boy off the field. We got to keep this Jaden Daniels off the field. Mm-hmm. We finna give you the ball 30 times.
Yeah.
All right? Because then the game is ugly. It's murked up. Well, guess what? What if we thinking the same thing?
Yeah.
B-Rob, we need to keep Lamar Jackson off the field. So this game, for everybody think it could be fireworks, this could easily be a 10-7 game.
Yeah. Right. I think Lamar's a phenomenal talent, period. I've always thought highly of him. I watched him in Louisville. I'm talking about, I thought he was a better thrower than they gave him.
He's a great.
No, I'm just saying. Just saying, as far as, they didn't give him that, saying that he can do both, but I've always looked at him as, man, this man can do whatever they ask him to do.
Yeah.
He has a phenomenal arm. It might not be as accurate as we saw in some guys, especially like a guy like Jaden. I think that's what Jaden has more going for himself more than anything. But his talent, where he can go with his game alone, is always going to put you in that situation where you have to be mindful of that. You have to be mindful that, hey, man, this man, if he want to say today I'm going to tuck this ball and go out there and be that playmaker of old, which I'm sure they don't want to, they don't want to have their game run through his legs. He can do it though. But with all that being said, I want to see us be able to say, okay, King Henry gonna have to beat us. Because if he don't, now they're going to have to drop back and throw the ball. And then that's when it's going to come. Not to say that Lamar can't throw, because he can. But if you own him.
I want to force him to throw.
If you're playing the kind of defense that we've been playing, disruptive up front, sticky enough on the outside, now the precision part of it is going to have to come into play. Can he be accurate enough to get that ball from out of our hands?
But he got to be accurate time and time.
That's what I'm saying.
Time again.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that's what is probably going to be the thing that I'm looking for the most. Can we put him in one of them kind of games where, hey, be the thrower that you say you are? You know what I'm saying?
I think that's a really, really good point, Tana, because you look at the games, Dallas, the Bills, they basically ran buckshot. They did whatever they wanted. It's, zone read or running GT with the quarterback. King Henry's got a 60-yard run.
Yeah.
It was like whatever. I mean, they rushed for over 200 yards.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry had 199 yards rushing against the Bills. They're number one in the league in rushing for a reason.
Yeah, well, I think we're probably number 2, right?
Yeah, I don't know, but their front. They kind of use their rushing attack as their quick game passing attack.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so if you can stop that and get them in these bad down distances, it's not sharp enough from a passing game standpoint.
Yeah.
I think that's your best shot.
Yeah.
Is it going to be hard? Yeah, because he's electric.
But that's why I say stuff the run just good enough.
Yeah.
Get an offense. If the offense get up just by a little bit, the panic mode kicks in because they gonna look at this team and say, this team puts up points. Washington puts up points. So now you get into a panic mode, and now you start to throw the ball a tad bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think the other thing this is just a fun little anecdote from me. Is one of the scariest things I've seen them do is when Patrick Ricard is in the dot and Derrick Henry's behind him.
It's so sick
because they have a big physical offensive line, and that Patrick Ricard has got to be the most physical fullback I've ever seen.
Think about this. Think about this, Logan. I know you're a huge man. Think about a cornerback, 180, my size, and you're running 560 pounds at him.
It's a lot.
A 300-pound fullback and a 250-pound tailback.
Yeah.
All right? That's 500 pounds plus. You better be ready for that.
And he puts his hat on people, and it's gross. It's gross.
Yeah, he moves people.
Yeah.
But you know, we play this game, and we don't look at it like that. We don't look at all that weight and stuff. Yeah, Fred does. I've seen him make business decisions.
Hey, listen, but the only way I can be living today.
But that's one of the reasons why I didn't play the position no more, because I knew, look, this body ain't going to be taking too many of them kind of hits. You know what I mean? I could probably take them and lay them more than I can dish them. But nah, man, I just feel like, man, it's going to be one of them matches. And I feel, to say the least, man, I think our team is battle-tested enough on the road this year thus far.
Yeah.
They went to Tampa. It wasn't perfect, perfect, but they went out there and still gave us a good game.
Yeah.
They went to Cincinnati on Monday night.
Yeah.
Now, y'all feel to realize that was Monday night.
Yeah.
And every blow they took, they went out there and gave them some. So they ready for whatever Baltimore's going to bring.
I think they ready for the challenge.
What you got, Jason?
Just the stats to answer your question. The Ravens are number 1 in rushing offense. Commanders are number 2.
Ooh. I thought so.
Ravens have a crazy 6.1 yards per carry average, which is insane.
Well,
but we're tied with them for 20 plus, 40 plus. We're tied with that, and we have more rushing touchdowns.
Yeah.
So it's even.
For the first time, the damn Ravens got to look in the mirror and they see us.
Yeah.
And we look just like them.
We do look very similar.
We look just like them.
And I know this is not on the topic we're talking about, but we talked about last week that B-Rob hadn't had a
home touchdown.
And he did it.
Like I said, we're breaking all the norms.
So I want to give him a little. I want to give B-Rob a little.
We broke the norm about can't win on Monday night. We broke the norm about B-Rob not scoring at home. Well, guess what? We ain't renting in Baltimore. How about we break that norm too?
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't been this excited to watch a game here in a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, this is going to be so much fun.
It's a heavyweight bout, man.
Way to say that when you've been working here for a long time.
No, but I'm saying there's something different about it.
There's something different.
There's something different. Like with the quarterback, with the head coach, new ownership, and like you're saying, like when was the last time? When was the last time we could look across the Beltway and be like,
2012 to me.
Okay, let's go.
2012. Remember they came here and we went toe-to-toe with them and didn't win it after they hurt Robert. You know what I mean?
So that's what I'm saying. It feels special, and it feels like it means something. It feels
real.
like, and it feels like a really legitimate measuring stick, as opposed to sometimes over the last couple of years where it's been like, this is going to be tough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It seems like to your point, there's a pathway to get there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now. Hell yeah or
hell no.
Now, this is a fan favorite. Everyone loves these. Mm-hmm. So, this is a tough one for the first one.
All right, let's go.
Ready?
Give it to me. Dish it out.
The defense will have 4 sacks again this week against the Ravens.
They come in bunches. I'm going to say, hell yeah. Because this is what I do hope. I told you what I'm hoping. That the offense starts so fast that it turns the Ravens into a throwing team. And if they turn into a throwing team, I know one thing about Lamar. He love to run around back there. These guys could chase him down for a couple of sacks or 2. Hell yeah.
I see us getting back there, getting them a couple of times, but I don't see 4. So I have to say, hell no. To the no.
I'm going to give a nerdy football answer here.
Give it to us.
You've said this before, Fred. Obviously, there's times where he holds the football for a long time.
Yeah.
But he does scramble like an absolute maniac.
Yeah,
and what is that makes people sugar rush.
Yeah.
And people don't get sacks when they sugar rush usually.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Sugar is sweet too.
Well, we did get a lot on Kyrie. I mean, Kyler Murray. So
you can do it. I'm not saying you can't do it. I'm just saying that would be my one thing. And I think this next one, to me, the second one, is really going to inform my first one.
All right,
Okay.
all right.
So, for example, this is the second one. Derrick Henry will stay under 100 yards rushing.
He can't stay this hot. Somebody got to stop him. Why not us? Why not us? Hell yeah, the king only has 99 yards.
He's playing good
Like 99, like
99.5.
Yeah, 99 yards. Like, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Dude, he's so I went back and watched all their explosive runs.
Yeah.
He is playing some of the best football I've seen him play. He is playing good ball.
That's why I got to say hell no.
This is the first time he been on a team, and it ain't all been about him.
Yeah.
So, you going to free up when you got a quarterback like this, and now teams like, okay, who we got to stop? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like when you say, who I got to stop for the Ravens, you
Since this is scripted, I got to say hell no. They told Fred to say that.
So for me, if we can keep him under 100,
Yeah.
I think the 4 sacks things becomes way more real. Because when you watch the Cincinnati game, they did a great job of basically being like, you're not going to run the ball. Like, I've never seen more people
in the box.
At the box, near the line of scrimmage. They're blitzing everybody. They're stunting every play. It's like muddy runs.
And that's what I would do if I'm the defensive coordinator. If I'm Wick, I sit up and say, you know what?
Because like Tana said, they don't really have like this. Zay Flowers is a good player.
He is.
But their playmakers are all the tight ends.
Yeah.
Like the
Mark
guys.
Andrews ain't even been making plays this year.
It's Charlie Kolar, who's their Y, Isaiah Likely, and Mark Andrews. And those 3 guys made explosive plays last week for this team.
Yeah.
It wasn't the receivers.
We saw this last time, though. We saw this going into the Cincinnati Bengals game. They had a slew of tight ends.
Yeah.
But then Jamar Chase caught on fire. So they don't have a Jamar Chase. Yeah. And I know they have capable guys out there, but they don't have a Jamar Chase.
And Fly was one of them guys, every time he make a big play, he do something.
He gonna do something.
No, he fumbles. Something happens.
Penalty,
it's something
like
happens.
So if we can keep him under 100,
Yeah.
I think the 4 sacks thing is 100% on the table.
So
it's likely.
Yes. If we don't do the 100-yard thing, so if it's hell no, like Tana's saying, I think
so you hell no if
yes
under conditions.
So yes, under conditions. That's
conditional
right.
hell no.
It's a conditional.
I need to send one of them to my family. This is conditional. Can I borrow some money? Hell no. Conditionally.
Hell no. All right. Okay. So, fun fact: we have had 30-plus rushing attempts in every game this year.
Yeah.
We had none last season.
Yeah.
So the third hell yeah or hell nah is, will we have 30-plus rushing attempts this week against the Baltimore Ravens?
Hell to the yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell to the yeah.
You know why?
Why?
Hell yeah.
Simply 5 or 6 for Jaden, 7 or 8 for Eckler, 19,
12?
20.
Yeah.
So 19, 20 B-Rob.
Yeah.
They go 30 rushes.
Yeah.
Like, I just feel like we'll get to 30 rushes in no time.
What's crazy, B-Rob only had 7 attempts last week, and we got to 30. So
Jaden had 11.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
then you got McNichols, comes in, spells, get him a couple of carries.
Again, this is a really nerdy. I'm going to do like a well actually thing here.
Yeah.
We have been able to get 30 rushing attempts a game because our third down efficiency has been
so good,
insane.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say hell yeah if we can maintain a good third down efficiency.
Put it like this. This the stat that matter to me.
Which one?
Because if we go 30 plus rushes, we're not doing it just for offensive reasons. We're doing it for defensive reasons to keep Lamar on that sideline.
Yeah.
We get 30 plus rushes, we win this game.
I think also too you got to put into context that most of our rushes has been where they've been because it's not because we have design runs from our quarterback. It's he knows when to take off. And get positive yardage. So that's something that they're seeing too. We can't turn our backs on these guys. So we have to play a mindful, knowing that this guy could take off. He's been keeping us into the games, keeping the flow of the game the way it's been because they're turning their backs, they're running to save their life, and he's like, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and take what you're giving me.
And I'm going to start running beside you.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
We'll also say I think it's interesting that they have maybe the one person in the NFL who can
Kyle Hamilton.
spy him.
Yep, Kyle Hamilton. I knew
And
he
does
was
a
going to
good
do
job.
I've been thinking about you and Kyle Hamilton since this week started. I said, I know Logan going to be like, there go the equalizer to this game.
I mean, he's
right there.
He's a special football player.
Yeah.
He's a special football player.
Yeah.
He's great in the box. He's great in coverage. Gets his hands on the football, creates turnovers, and can track down quarterbacks. So, are those scrambles as effective?
But here go the thing about it. Kyle Hamilton I can say match him. But what happens when he get down there too low and our quarterback rises up and throw that ball?
Yeah.
Now they missing him in the middle of the field.
That's the one thing about spies, man. Is it really hurt? I think it really
takes
hurts
away
your
from
game.
It takes a defense out of them. Yeah,
it takes away from the rest of the
like
defense.
we just talked about his accuracy. Yeah, come on, give me a spy and not give me an inch to throw this ball in. Give me a window to throw this ball in.
If he want to be James Bond for the night, we gonna let him be James Bond. We're gonna go over your head.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say hell yeah on that. Okay, now last one. This is maybe my favorite one we've done in a long time. So, win or loss, will this put the league on notice about the Commanders? Is this going to be a competitive football game against a Super Bowl potential
Hell
team?
To the yes. This is a culture clash.
Yeah.
You been had the culture. We're going to show you what the new culture look like.
Yeah.
It's a culture clash.
This is finna be a game of the Johns and the Moes. You got the DC folks and the Maryland guys.
The Johns and the Moes.
I mean, that's the DC and
yeah, they
Maryland.
say Jones
Maryland.
all the time.
Do they really?
Yeah.
John, Mo. Hey, look here, Mo. You know, this is
the
finna
Baltimore guys?
This is finna be one of those games where you finna see that these guys over here, you know, in this burgundy and gold, gonna be able to come in that stadium and say, he have arrived. 5 have arrived. We're happy to introduce to y'all the
Jaden
future.
Mania.
The future. And that's what I really feel that this game is gonna have that kind of effect.
Yeah, because
on the NFL.
I like how Tan was being all serious and you were just like, Jack in the Box, Jaden Mania. You couldn't handle like the serious monologue.
He was too serious. Like,
I was like, yeah, this
he
is
had
good.
put on his BH voice.
Oh man.
Thanks, Brian. Anyway, so that's gonna do it for today's show.
Yeah.
It was a good one, man.
So please make sure you like and subscribe wherever you get your content. And man, I am so juiced for this game.
I
cannot
will
wait.
meet you in Baltimore
I can't
this
wait.
weekend.
Can't wait.
I can't wait.
We can't wait. That's it.